All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea called the energy of wisdom. It's all about how you can completely reset your inner state, especially on those days when you just feel completely wiped out.
You know that feeling, right? Maybe it's the middle of the afternoon and you just hit a wall. You feel totally drained, like your internal battery is blinking on 1%. It's a feeling we all know. But what if we've been looking at our energy all wrong?
See, this is the big shift in thinking we're exploring. The idea here is that you're not some little battery that just gets used up. You are the power plant itself. You're the source of the energy. The only issue is that sometimes that flow of energy gets blocked. So, how do we unblock it?
Well, we do it by tapping into what's called the energy of wisdom. And listen, this isn't some vague out there concept. It's actually a set of very specific inner energies that our internal power plant runs on. Once we learn how to generate them, everything, and I mean everything, starts to change.
So this energy of wisdom is fueled by three core sources: peaceful joy, compassion, and gratitude. We're going to get into all of them, but everything really starts with that first one. See, when you cultivate these energies, you develop what's called a richness in mentality. You don't just feel better yourself, you actually become a source of light for everyone around you.
Okay, so let's start with the foundation. We're going to take a deep dive into that first and, honestly, most fundamental energy source. It's the one that everything else is really built on: peaceful joy.
Now, it is so important to get this distinction. Peaceful joy is not the same thing as happiness. Happiness usually depends on us getting something we want, right? But peaceful joy, that's a state of inner perception where we consciously decide to release our attachments, to let go of our desperate need for a specific outcome.
Now, I know that can sound a little abstract, so let's break it down into three parts. First, you have the information level. This is about seeing and hearing the world as it is, without all your emotional baggage coloring it. Then there's the energy level. That's the actual feeling of release you get when you let go of craving something. And finally, the material level. This is as simple as it gets, just being aware right here, right now, knowing I am hearing or I am seeing without any judgment. It's incredibly powerful.
So how does this actually work in the real world? Let's look at a perfect example of how this idea of peaceful joy can resolve a super common and very stressful family problem.
We've all heard this, right? Maybe you've even felt it yourself. A parent is just at their wits' end because their kid is glued to video games. But where's that frustration really coming from? It's not just about the game itself. It's about the parent's deep-seated desire for their child to fit into a certain box, a certain idea of success.
And this gets right to the heart of it. The parent thinks the problem is the gaming, but the real issue, the thing that's actually blocking all the energy and creating the conflict, is the parent's own attachment, their attachment to a specific vision of who their child should be.
So, the solution is a total shift in focus. Instead of focusing on the darkness, trying to forbid the game, you focus on the light. What if you helped your child find the value in the game? I mean, gaming builds incredible skills: observation, strategy, even language skills. And more importantly, it often fills a real human need for community and recognition. By simply acknowledging small positive things, even just helping with one dish, the parent can start to rebuild that connection and change the entire dynamic.
Okay, let's look at another really powerful example. This one applies to pretty much anyone thinking about the future, especially retirement. It's something this source calls the retirement trap. So there's this predictable four-stage cycle that can happen. It starts with formation. You make the decision, you form the mental image: I'm going to retire. Then comes a brief period of stability, of rest. But then, if your idea of retirement is to simply stop creating value, you can trigger a phase of decay. Your sense of purpose starts to fade, your personal energy drops, and then comes destruction, where negative things can start to manifest out of what feels like nowhere. And this leads to a chilling but absolutely vital point. The mental images we hold literally create our reality. Think about it. If you're saving money with the deep down belief that it's for when you get sick, you're essentially sending an instruction to your reality to create that sickness so the money has a purpose. It's a powerful thing to understand.
So the choice becomes incredibly clear. You have the retirement mindset, which says my work is done and it risks kicking off that phase of decay, or you have the value creation mindset, which says my next chapter of contribution is just beginning, and that opens up a whole new phase of growth. The path you end up on is determined by the mindset you choose.
Okay, so we've covered some pretty big concepts. How do we make this stuff practical? How do we use it today?
Well, there's a brilliant and super simple analogy for this.
Just think about it for a second. When your computer gets totally overwhelmed with too many open tabs, it gets slow, it lags, it just freezes up. What's the one thing you do that almost always fixes it? You reboot it. You hit the reset button. Well, your inner state is exactly the same.
And here they are. You have 3 internal reset buttons. When your mind is just a chaotic mess of attachments and desires, you press the peaceful joy button. That resets your wisdom. When your relationships are strained from conflict and judgment, you press the compassion button to restart that connection. And when you feel stuck, focused on everything you don't have, you press the gratitude button to completely reset your perspective and your outcomes.
And look, this isn't a one-time fix. This is a daily practice. Just like you might have to reboot your computer every now and then, you can consciously press these buttons all throughout your day to clear out the mental clutter, restore your balance, and get your own energy flowing freely again.
So let's bring it all back to where we started. Remember, you are not the battery. You are the power plant. The energy you're looking for isn't something you need to go out and get from the world. It is already inside you, an infinite source just waiting for you to unblock it. So that's really the key takeaway. The tools are already in you. The power is yours. The only real question left is, which reset button are you going to press today?